Here's looking at you, kid. All right, so I got a comment of someone I really respect, Mr. Lyons. He's a newer subscriber, joined around the Christmas holidays. Asks very intelligent, relevant questions that really move this channel along. I like Mr. Lyons. I made a video recently called 5 More Ways to Predict If You Will Go Bald, a sequel. And here's what he said, quote, "For the family member who has the same hair as you, does hair color matter on top of hair texture? Also, do you have to look like this person? Do you have to have the same skin color or eye color?" End quote. Very intelligent question. And I'm happy I got this question because it helps me further my own theories on this, out of being the at least 10 different theories I have on predicting hair loss. So just in case you're not familiar with what I'm talking about here, I say that you have someone in your immediate family that you adopt your hair gene from. So whether it's your mother, your father, one of your grandparents, I'd even venture to say even an aunt or uncle. I'll go that far. And I would say that one of them, ultimately, you have adopted the hair gene from. So to answer the question, I don't think hair color matters on this one, but I think density does. So how thick or thin your hair is. And then ultimately we can go by that. So for example, it could be a female. I know a guy, early 30s, absolutely he adopted his mom's hair gene. Very thick hair, perfect hairline. His dad is normal, he's thinning out in his 50s or whatever, but it's undeniable that he got his mom's hair gene. And I can see that. They do happen to have the same hair color, but the fact that the density completely lines up, yes. So no, please do not continue believing, for anyone out there who believes that it's from definitely your mother's father or your dad, could be, but it could just as easily be somebody else that I named. So, and that's one of the reasons I think my channel is popular, because it throws rocks at that old wives' tale that, oh, it's your mother's father. Maybe, but maybe it's your uncle, for all I know. I think someone in your family that's older than you is showing you a glimpse of your future. I'm going to give you an interesting example. You may not believe it by looking at me, but I do have that other YouTube channel called Family Friendly Daddy Blog, and it explores DNA test results. And when my mom took her test, it showed that she's 2% African, which I'm not surprised by. That came through the Italian side, which they were actually Middle Eastern and Sephardic Jewish, which we found out through the test. But we had always speculated that there, somewhere in our family tree, there was an African ancestor somewhere in there. It may have happened centuries ago, but my mom is 2% African. Not surprised, and here's why I say that. She has 3 brothers, and 2 of them have hair that you would think definitely, oh, they've got like hair that a black person would have. Like, because I have, like, they're in their 60s, but like one of the uncles, last time I saw him, like he basically had like dreadlocks forming on their own. He grew his hair out long, and it's just like, it's like Bob Marley hair. And then the other uncle, his hair was a little bit more bushier, but it's still the same. And like, we always speculated, I think someone in our family tree was of African descent. And so even when my kids were born, I'm like, are they gonna have, like, can they grow afros? And it turns out no, but I contain that gene apparently because my uncles have it. Okay, my point is that if I had perfect hairline and very tight curly hair, then it would be them I look to, but it's not. For me, it happened to be my dad. I most closely follow my dad's density and even the receding. A little bit slower than he did in life, but still, it's still there. For the most part, it's definitely him that I've adopted that from. And I think it's important for you to figure out which person in your family it is. I don't believe hair color matters. I haven't seen any evidence. And I will say, my dad had the same color hair as I did, and the guy that I mentioned a minute ago, his mom had the same color hair as he did. I think that could be a coincidence in itself. I don't really think that if I contain the gene for, the African hair, both of my kids are kind of blonde. So, but could they have had blonde hair that was really curly? I think so. I don't think hair color matters. I don't think eye color matters, and I don't think skin tone matters either. Because even for me, my skin tone is definitely a different shade than my dad. You've seen my dad in my videos, and he's like 99% Northwestern European. He's basically British and a little bit German. And his skin tone, he is darker complected, but it's got a red tint to it, whereas for me, I got more of my mom's complexion, which is more the olive. So I've got my skin tone from my mom, but my hair more from my dad. So as far as you having to look like the person, I'd say not so much. I really think it comes down to hair density more than anything, and hair texture. I'd say density and texture matter more than anything. And again, I'm going to end this video by telling you again who I think could be a candidate for who you can look at as a preview for who has similar hair. I think it's going to be your mother, your father, one of your grandparents, or even an aunt or uncle. I'd say if you have to go all the way to a great-grandparent, you're probably missing out on somebody else I've already named that you can already kind of figure that out in the meantime. So this is all my theory. I've just observed this. I'm not an expert, but you know, it's possible that I can observe things by, you know, that maybe experts aren't keen to talk about openly. I'm talking about it openly because I think even if it's true 80% of the time, it's a theory, it's worth talking about. It's a trend, it's worth talking about. So thank you for asking that question. I like these discussions. I like building up my theories, and I think there's a lot to take away from this video. And thanks again for Mr. Lyons. I'm so grateful that you're part of this channel, subscribing, commenting. Very proud to have you as part of the Brotherhood of the Hair Loss. And if anyone else has comments out there, has questions, put them in there. There's a good chance I'll make a video for you.